I'm on my SD1300, my second SD1300, and I can't help to think, if there's a place still in 2022 and onwards, if sport touring is still relevant. Because I've had quite a few adventure motorcycles, and I've always felt that adventure motorcycles were better at sport touring than sport touring machines were. I was watching Angry D's latest video, and he went on a ride with a guy who died, and he caught it on video. I'll put the link below, but it was pretty interesting to hear what he says about it. The guy was about to, like, they were teaming up, he was going to teach him how to edit videos, he wanted to do videos, and it's like a different type of riding than I do. Like, the last thing I want to do is ride through the city. When I first started riding, I did a little bit of that, the kind of like going in and out, and I was like, what, this seems like not a good use of my time, and I quickly bowed out of that. It's a style of riding. But there is like a little bit of an adrenaline hit when riding like that, like weaving in and out. And so that's what they were doing. They were weaving in and out of traffic. And I have no idea how Texas people are, but there's traffic, and the guy was following another guy that he didn't know, apparently. And he hit an object and died. What the hell? Get out of here, Raven. What is this? These freaking guys are all over the road. Tried to get killed. But the one guy hit a stationary object and died. And in Angry D's video, you see him flying back, and luckily Angry D blurred them out because he almost got clipped by a car as well. I think he hit the side of a car, but he didn't get run over. But he died, and you just see his bike breaking in two. It's kind of hard to see, but I've heard about that. I've heard of people that I've known that died that way, and it's a different style of riding. And man, I'm so glad I'm not into that. But like, I like riding on the country, and I like going around twisties, but I also don't want to deal with traffic. Like, I've commuted for a very long time and into the city, and the way I behave around cars is very different the way I would behave around bikes. I pretty much like try to be predictable on the highway. I want to stay in one lane so cars can see that I'm there, and then they don't have to guess that I'm like in another lane or weaving in and out. 34 degrees. Whew, it is cold. Damascus, I like this area, but I come here because it's got the cheapest gas. And I'm gonna fill up $2.99. That's a V-Strom 650 parked over there. Some nutter is riding in this temperature. You know, I used to ride a lot with groups, and I used to lead groups all the time, and I stopped riding with groups, especially groups that I didn't know. And I love riding with groups. I really enjoy the camaraderie, looking at other bikes, but there were so many accidents. I mean, every single ride there was one or two. When I was leading these large groups, I would have accidents happen, and every day that I would lead rides, people would get in accidents. I was like, oh man, what is happening? And people assured me it's not my fault, because, you know, how can you control anybody? But in a way, I think that was my fault, because I was riding fast. And the problem is, if you've ever ridden in a group, the people in the front are really not riding as fast as the ones in the back. The ones in the back are actually like keeping up, so they're compensating for a lack of speed maybe in the corners, but they're going faster, trying to keep keep up with other riders. I think I wanted to go on that road. And that's a big problem, because you might be going, most of these rides that I would do, I would actually kind of consider it to be, oh shoot, ice. I would consider it to be almost conservative in the way I was riding. But riders behind, I would like talk to them and I was like, oh my god, you're going so fast. But in reality, they were going fast and I was going like average. But because they were trying to compensate and then keep up with me in like any opportunity, they were going much faster and it was a lot faster for them. COVID memorial parking. What the hell? The beauty behind sport touring machines. I'm already in Pennsylvania and I'm not tired at all. Look, hey, look, my god, that police guy is so hidden on that median. Wow, Jesus, man, these people. This is pretty popular for motorcyclists. They come here. Something. Frederick County embraces diversity. All are welcome. Parking for park patrons only. All others will be towed at owner's sole risk and expense. Doesn't sound that welcoming, really. It's funny, I took the Silver Wing through here just a while ago. Oh yeah, this is so much better. Let's see how it handles this dip. Yeah, not bad, not bad. You see how rough it is on a regular ADV bike? This thing, it would soak out everything. But right now, this thing, when you give it throttle, it evens out everything. Park closed, sunset to sunrise. But yeah, welcome to Gettysburg, Pennsylvania. I've come here on just about every motorcycle I've had. See, every state's got a memorial. And that's the biggest one here. You see plates from all sorts of states as well. People come here. Oh, Gettysburg, Pennsylvania. And that's the big memorial. The Super Tenere was really difficult to put on the center stand. This one is very easy. And by the way, you also have a little bit of a crash bar thing here. But very easy to get in and out of the center stand. The Super Tenere was such a pain. Let's just go around the battlefield. We have to go pretty slow because I believe it's like 20 miles an hour. I believe this might be where Lincoln gave his speech. I have no idea. But yeah, we're going to do a little bit of a tour here in Gettysburg. Get all in. Gettysburg. Yeah, I can't find that one hill. So yeah, it looks really flat. There's that big monument we were just in. And everything is flat, right? Beautiful, very flat, perfect. And you start to go down in elevation just slightly. So the enemy on the opposite side is looking at you, probably sniping at you. So we're going down in elevation. Oh yeah, it's still flat, still flat. Now you're starting to see some hills. It's very granity here. Look at this guy. You gotta admire the mustaches in Civil War soldiers. You know, nowadays it's all beards. What about the mustache? You know, I think the mustache is way cooler than the beard. And these sport touring roads are great for this bike. it soaks up all the bumps. So if you were to take a road bike, a sport bike through here, you would feel a lot of this kind of bumpy stuff. And the good thing about this bike having 5 gears is that if you keep it in 5th gear, it's pretty capable. I mean, right now I'm in, 5th gear, and it just kind of pulls whenever I want. Plenty of torque. The power of this engine is that it just keeps on trucking. It slows you down. Now I'm in 5th gear. I shouldn't be going this fast, but it feels like I'm going slow. But I'm going like way too fast with this. Now I downshift it, just let go of the throttle here. Set up for the corner, brake, set up. Yeah, I'm very sloppy with this bike. You know, the thing is, with this bike, it corners better than what my head is expecting, and it takes some time to get used to it. Something this big shouldn't corner as well, but it does corner really well. So it's really deceiving. And it's got plenty of power, except like it's very deceiving because it's like so stealthy the way it makes power. You can really get in trouble with this thing. And definitely, I look around more for police than I do for like any debris on the road, which is terrible. And the suspension was a lot more forgivable on the Super 10 ride. Holy shit, I just hit my foot peg. I'm not used to that. Like, I think you have to really ride with sport bike intentions on this bike. It wasn't my foot peg, it was like my feet that were hanging just a little bit off of the foot pegs. And it scraped my toe, so I'm not really used to that. I don't like that. I don't like the feeling of scraping anything. It used to be a bragging right when you were riding sport bikes. It's like, oh yeah, I scraped hard parts, but in reality, that's a dangerous thing. One time I found a pump here. Not a penis pump, a bicycle pump. Good brakes. This bike is a commuter in the winter. It's a winner. This thing has got sheer comfort. You get off of work, you sit in this thing, it's, I'm home. It's amazing. Like when I used to commute on this thing every day for a few years, I would take the long way home in the middle of the winter. And now that I'm like looking back, I've only done that in actually all my bikes, but this is probably the most comfortable one to do it. Taking the long way home, like 200 miles home sometimes. I was like, oh man, I can't stand this traffic. I'm gonna go west and then north and then come back down south. Sport touring bikes definitely have a place, I think, still. There are people who just don't want to go into the gravel, and that doesn't mean that the sport touring machines are obsolete. For me, I would rather have something I could go into the gravel, but that's just because I'm that type of person. I like that sort of adventure, quote unquote. But if you're more of a sport bike guy, or coming from like a Honda Blackbird or a VFR or something, this bike, the FJR, the Concourse, really make a lot of sense, and you are going to be happy that you have a shaft drive. This could be your intro to shaft driven bikes, and to me, there's no looking back. Once you go shaft, you never go back. Alright guys, that's it. I appreciate you riding with me. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.
Yes, my soda's flat. It doesn't have any bubbles.